point you're moving along with your product and narrowing down or have chosen your supplier, you need to consider your product design and packaging for your first inventory order. This lesson is all about good product design and packaging, and it's absolutely critical to your success on Amazon. So let's take a look at why design is so important. Well, first off, it's going to directly affect your sales on Amazon. Simply put, having a better designed product than all of your competition is going to make people more likely to buy your product, even if it's priced a little bit higher, as opposed to buying somebody else's product, which, under the label, might basically be the same product as yours. Next, it's going to increase your repeat buyers. And it's not just the initial sale that's important. Once the buyer receives the product in the mail and they start to use it, having great design and packaging is going to impact them. They're going to associate your brand with a higher quality product, and hopefully that will lead them to purchase it again, purchase another one of your products, or maybe tell their friends about it. And then there's the perceived value. Now we're going to teach you how you can charge a premium price and actually do better than all of your competition and make more money in the process. And in order to do this, your product needs to have a higher perceived value. And a lot of that comes from having really good design and packaging. Now with your packaging and your design, you want to create a good, sustainable brand. And so first off, you're going to need to choose a name for your brand and your product. Now we talked a little bit about this in the previous lesson. And I just want to reiterate that you want to be careful not to use a trademarked name or one where a patent might exist on a product. And in the previous lesson, we gave you a link so you can do a trademark search yourself. Now you want to ensure that your name resonates with your audience. For example, if you decide to start selling men's razors, you probably don't want to have them colored pink. Just keep in mind of who your target audience is and what they would expect or like to see. And you want to differentiate yourself as much as you can. Now, if you take a look at some Amazon listings, think about what you like and what you don't like and what could really set you apart without alienating your audience. Think about what can make you look different and really stand out. And this is important in building a sustainable product brand. Then you're going to want to get your label designed. Now you can check with your supplier, and oftentimes they'll have their own design department where they can do that for you. And sometimes they might even offer that as a free service. Now, it may or may not be the best design in the whole world, but it's something to at least get you started. And who knows, it might actually be pretty good. Or of course, you can hire your own designer. And if you need to hire your own designer because you can't do it yourself or your supplier can't do it for you, there's some excellent sites and resources that you can check out, such as Fiverr.com, Elance.com, Odesk.com, and 99designs.com. The only thing with 99designs.com, and it's a wonderful resource, it's a little bit like the crowdsourcing model, where you pay and a whole bunch of different people submit designs to you. So it's a fantastic resource, but it is a little bit more expensive than some of the other ones. Now down below this video on the PDF, you're going to see all those links in there so you can check it out yourself. So there's a few key things that you're going to want to include on your label. Number one, you're going to need your brand name and a logo if you have one. Now, in the process of getting your design created, you should really consider getting a logo created for your brand, not only to make this product look more professional, but also for future products under that same brand. Then, of course, you're going to want to have your product name on there, plus any required information such as warning labels. Now, the best way to determine what might be required is to look at what your competition is doing and to talk with your supplier. Now, while they're not lawyers, they can't provide you legal advice, but this is a really effective way of seeing what might be necessary on your packaging as far as any potential warning labels are concerned. Now, contact information is a requirement in some markets, but even if it's not a requirement, it's a good way to provide customer service to users and potential users of your product, in case they have questions or other reasons for wanting to get a hold of you. You could include a business name, an address, a phone number, your website, that type of thing. And then finally, if it's possible, it's a good idea to try and list the main benefits of your product. You want to list things like why people should be using your product and what makes it different from other products. Because even though the customer may have already bought the product, you want to sell them on the idea of using it. And this is so that they get value out of it. Hopefully buy another one. Maybe tell somebody else about it and buy other products that you have for sale. So once you get all of this done, please double check everything for accuracy, because you don't want to have hundreds or maybe thousands of labels printed off and then discover there's something wrong or a spelling error or something like that. And trust me, you wouldn't be the first person to have that happen to you. Also, try and get some feedback on your packaging and design. You can just talk to family and friends about it, because at the end of the day, they're just consumers like you and I are. Don't simply rely on your own opinion. And by getting input from others, you should be able to come up with a very high quality, differentiated, and well-selling design.